See, because yesterday I couldn't record my lecture, I will give you a quick revision about what we have done yesterday. Okay, these were the conditions that we had covered. These are the two conditions that to become a resident, a person has to satisfy at least one of the following two. These are two. At least one has to be satisfied. Okay, to become a resident. We have discussed it. Next part was exceptional rule for person of Indian origin under two situations. Now let me give you a quick revision about this exceptional rule. See, it is an exceptional rule made for those persons who are of Indian origin. Now somebody messaged me yesterday. That student had a doubt, and I got to understand from his messages that he is misunderstanding the concept of Indian origin. See, first of all, Indian origin doesn't mean Indian and foreigner. Somebody who is Indian and foreigner. I'm not talking about the citizenship that you have. Okay, I'm talking about whether you were born in India or not, whether your parents were born in India, whether your grandparents were born in India. So suppose if a person is born in India, suppose me, take my example. Okay, I am born in India. Okay, therefore I am a person of Indian origin. Leave apart where do I live. Leave apart that question. That regardless of where do I live, I was born in India. That means I am a person of Indian origin. I'm falling in that category of Indian origin. Suppose I was not born in India. My parents were born in India. Because my parents were born in India, regardless of where I am living, but because my parents were born in India, therefore I will be called as a person of Indian origin. Okay. Now suppose my parents were not born in India. Either they are born in India or they are not born in India. There only can be one case, no? Now let's take an example of my parents not born in India. Okay, come to grandparents. If your grandparents were born in India, then yes, you are a person of Indian origin. So up to two generations, up to two past generations, you have to check whether your parents and grandparents were born in India. And if yes, the answer is yes, you are the person of Indian origin. Okay. Now, if you are a person of Indian origin, only then you will be enjoying the benefit under the exceptional rule. There is one benefit under an exceptional rule. But before that, you should be person of Indian origin. Mute everybody, please mute. Now, to enjoy the benefit, to enjoy the privilege of exceptional rule, a person should be of Indian origin. सबसे पहला condition. The most important condition is a person should be of Indian origin. Okay. If suppose I'm a person of Indian origin, then yes, I will come to the next step, which is to look at which situation do I fall into. That is the next step. But if suppose I say I'm not a person of Indian origin, neither I was born in India, nor were my parents, nor were my grandparents. Nobody was born in India. I'm totally a foreigner. I'm totally living outside India. I'm not neither born in India, not anyway connected to India. My parents were also not connected to India. My grandparents were also not connected to India. Therefore, I will be called as a person of Indian origin. Okay. Are you getting that example? Okay. Are you following the example? Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, person of Indian origin, सबसे पहला step. The first step is to determine a person of Indian origin. Okay, yes. Step number one is no. I'm not a person of Indian origin. Then what? Then do we need to go to the situations and analyze which situation he falls into? No. If a person is not of an Indian origin, then no need to apply anything further. You just have to state that he does not fall in exceptional rule, and therefore he will not be given benefit of the exceptional rule. That's it. The conditions will be followed as same as this, which is appear before you on the screen. Same conditions will be followed. First one is at least 182 days in India in previous year. Second, A and B together. A and B together. A says at least 365 days in 4 immediately preceding the previous year. And what are your 4 years? 2015 and 19. Immediately preceding means 2009, 19 and 20 जो आपका previous year है उसको छोड़कर, leaving your previous year 2019 and 20, what are the 4 previous years? Okay. Second is stay in India for at least 60 days in the previous year. These are the conditions that person has to satisfy to become resident in India. Okay. And the note also has been given for the purpose of counting the number of days stayed in India. Both the date of departure as well as the date of arrival has to be considered to be in India. That means suppose you are going out of India, so departure date will also be counted as if you are present in India. Suppose you are going on 28th February to US. So 28th February will be assumed as you are present in India, and from 29th or maybe from 1st March you will be in US. Getting my example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now if suppose your date of arrival in India is you are coming back from US to India on 31st March. Okay, on 31st March. So your date of arrival is 31st March. Though you have arrived like at night, but still whole day will be counted as to be present in India. So date of arrival will also be counted as to be present in India. ओके चाहे आप रात में ही क्यों नहीं आए हो, बट आपका पूरा दिन काउंट होगा. ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते आप कि हाफ डे काउंट होगा या 1/4 डे काउंट होगा. नो, वो यही लिखा हुआ है नीचे जो नोट लिखा हुआ नहीं, वो इसी बारे में लिखा हुआ है. So if a person is of Indian origin, yes, the person is of Indian origin. Now the second step is to determine the two situations. First situation, leaving India, छोड़ के जाना. Living outside India, coming back to India. Now these are the two situations. Leaving India, if suppose you were here in India, living in India, now you want to go outside India. And if suppose you are going outside India, there should be 3 reasons for that. If you are fit in that 3 reasons, only then the exceptional rule will be followed. And because the exceptional rule follows, and you will be given the benefits. Okay, all the conditions should be satisfied. The first condition is person of Indian origin. Second condition is either of the situation should be there. या तो लिविंग इंडिया होना चाहिए या तो लिविंग आउटसाइड इंडिया होना चाहिए. Either of these situations should be there. Okay, apart from this it will not work. Okay, and if suppose you are living outside India, only 3 situations, only 3 conditions are satisfied. Only 3 conditions fit into this category. Which 3 conditions? Employment or job. If you are going outside India for employment, for job, for business, for doing your own business, maybe you have a branch there, and for becoming a member of a crew. Crew means ship, where people work, travel from one place to another. Those ships, बड़ी बड़ी ships होती, जैसे टाइटैनिक मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था कल. ठीक है, तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट या जॉब या बिजनेस या मेंबर ऑफ क्रू बनने के लिए आप इंडिया को छोड़ के जा रहे हैं. दिस इज द वन रीजन. दिस इज वन रीजन. एंड सेकेंड रीजन इज अ पर्सन हु इज लिविंग आउटसाइड इंडिया बट कमिंग बैक टू इंडिया फॉर ओनली वन रीजन, विजिट. दैट्स इट. हियर यू हैव 3 reasons. Leaving India, but living outside India you have only one reason. You are coming back to India for the purpose of visit, घूमना फिरना, घूमने के लिए आ रहे हैं. just to visit India, just to see India. Okay, visit India. Okay, is it clear, everybody?
Yes.
Yes. So these are the two situations. If suppose I am falling within first situation, yes, I will be availed as a benefit of exceptional rule. If I fall into second category, second situation, yes, I will be given the benefit of exceptional rule. Now, what is actually the benefit of exceptional rule? The exceptional rule says a person of Indian origin either leaving India or living outside India fall under the exceptional rule. And what is the benefit that has been given to persons, those who are falling under exceptional rule? The number of days stated under 2B section, 2B condition. This is 2B condition, yes? Am I right? This is, look at my cursor. This is my 2B condition. In this, the number of days are stated as 60 days. 60 days is for normal person. But for person who falls under exceptional rule, will be given a benefit of extension of 182 days instead of 60 days. That means you can stay in India for more number of days. 60 days is lesser number of days, no, just for 2 months. 60 days is just for 2 months. But if you are a person of exceptional rule, if you fall under exceptional rule, that means you can stay in India up to 6 months. 182 days means 6 months, because 365 is half. Half of 365 is 182. Half of 365 is 182. So 365 is 12 months. Half of 12 months is 6 months. Okay, so it states that number of days are extended to 182 days instead of 60 days in the previous year of 2B condition. Now what was 2B condition? 2B condition was stay in India for 60 days in the previous year. But those persons who fall under exceptional rule, they can stay in India for 6 months. Okay, this is a benefit for them. Now, resident, what is the basic difference between resident and ordinarily resident and resident but not an ordinarily resident? See, taxable liability becomes a difference between the two. I already told you when we will start with the next part of this chapter, which is scope of total income, there you will be able to understand that ordinary or not in ordinary के बीच में exactly what is the difference between them. So resident, now if suppose you have answered your question, suppose I've asked you a question, okay, I'm asking you a question, okay, now you have to answer me. Suppose condition number 1 is satisfied and 2A and 2B conditions are not satisfied, then what that person will be called as?
Resident.
Yes. And if suppose you have answered your question, that person is
Resident.
yes, resident. And suppose you have answered your question, that person is resident. Suppose your answer is resident, then further you have to allocate. See, yesterday only I told you, this is the further allocation. What is the further allocation? If suppose a person is resident, then again you have to go further and determine about his status, whether he is resident and ordinarily resident, or he is resident but not an ordinarily resident. But if suppose a person is non-resident, then you don't have to further determine anything. No, then full stop. If a person is non-resident, I got nothing to do with a person who is non-resident. Okay, I got nothing to do with him because he is non-resident. Nothing has to be done with it. Okay, give me just a second, guys. Give me just a second. Okay, so we will resume with where I was, by the way. I was here, no? Resident and non-resident. So if suppose a person is non-resident, yes, am I audible? आवाज सबको आ
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if suppose a person is non-resident, then what? Full stop. I got nothing to do with it because person does not live in India. He does not belong to India. And not, neither he has coming, I mean, neither that is the case that he is coming back to India for purpose of visits. No. Simply he is a non-resident, therefore full stop. ठीक है? अब अगर resident है, if he is resident, then what? Then maybe further we have to determine that maybe he is a resident in ordinary or maybe he is not in ordinary. How to determine that? We have again other conditions to satisfy that. Okay, now what is written here, read it very, very carefully. Here I'm talking about. Okay, let me read it from here. A resident is further categorized. If a person is resident, he will be further categorized between ordinary or not in ordinary. Okay, either he will be ordinary, both status cannot be there. No, either he will be resident, ordinary resident, or he will be resident but not an ordinary resident. It is important to note here that an ordinarily resident is taxable in India on his global income. Whatever income he earns, whatever, from wherever he earns, maybe from US, maybe from Australia, maybe from Europe, maybe from India, his global income will be taxable. Whose income I'm talking about? Resident and ordinarily resident. See, I'm highlighting it for you. See, can you see the word has been highlighted?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ordinary resident, a person of ordinarily resident will be taxable in India. Yes, in India on his global income. Wherever he earns, his income is taxable in India because he is resident and ordinarily resident. Simple. Okay, and a person of category of not an ordinarily resident. I've highlighted it again for you. Whose income from others, whose income from sources outside India is taxable in India only if it is derived from a business controlled in India or profession in India. That means I'll tell you what he is trying to say you. He is trying to say you, suppose you are a person of category of resident but not an ordinarily resident, and if suppose you have a business which is controlled from India, only then that particular income will be taxable. Of course, India में जो income earn की, the income which is earned in India will be taxable in India, of course. But I'm talking about the income, global income. But I'm talking about global income. Suppose your global income means आपका business US में है. And if suppose that business is controlled from India, only then it will be taxable if you are not an ordinary. In case of ordinary, whether it is taxable from India or not controlled from India, you will be taxable, your income will be taxable, that particular global income, in case of ordinary resident. But in case of not an ordinary, if suppose your business is controlled from India, only then that particular income will be taxable. Rest of incomes which are earned from India and in India will be taxable. No, will be taxable. In case of ordinary, not in ordinary, yes, taxable. मैं बात कर रही हूँ ग्लोबल इनकम की, कि किस केस में टैक्सेबल होता है, किस केस में टैक्सेबल नहीं होता है. तो ऑर्डिनरी में ग्लोबल इनकम टैक्सेबल होता है, नॉट इन ऑर्डिनरी में सिर्फ तब होगा जब बिजनेस कंट्रोल्ड फ्रॉम इंडिया होगा या प्रोफेशन सेटअप इन इंडिया होगा. मतलब प्रोफेशन, जिस प्रोफेशन में आप हो, समझो आप डॉक्टर हो, तो मेन जो हेड ऑफिस है ना, वो आपका हॉस्पिटल जो है वो आपका इंडिया में है, और वहां से सारे ब्रांचेस अलग अलग ओपन हुए हैं अलग अलग कंट्रीज में. ओनली देन क्या कहते हैं, उस ग्लोबल इनकम पे टैक्सेबल होगा अगर आप नॉट इन ऑर्डिनरी हो. तो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑर्डिनरी एंड नॉट इन ऑर्डिनरी. एनीवेज डिफरेंस तो इतना ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, बस आपको एक ही पॉइंट समझनी थी डिफरेंस की. आगे जो दिया हुआ ना, दैट इज वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट, उसके ऊपर सम्स होते हैं. एक वो जो मैंने आपको पहले कंडीशन सिखाई, और ये वाली कंडीशंस. ठीक है, इसे कहते हैं 6 सबसेक्शन 6 क्लॉज ए. If an individual qualifies as resident, if suppose I will be called as resident, the next step is to determine if he or she is resident and ordinary resident, or a resident but not an ordinarily resident. We will have to determine this. Okay. Now to determine this, we have to follow the two conditions given below. he will be a resident and ordinary. Very, very important. He will be called as resident and ordinarily resident if he meets both of the following conditions. Or if in simple words I say, अगर आपको कहना है कि पर्सन ROR है, ROR मतलब रेसिडेंट एंड ऑर्डिनरी रेसिडेंट. इफ यू वांट टू कॉल अ पर्सन एज resident and ordinary resident, he must satisfy all the given conditions. How many given conditions are there? 2. So he should satisfy 2 given conditions. क्या कहते हैं 2 conditions? पहले मैं रीड करूंगी फिर मैं समझाऊंगी. Let me read out once and then I will explain. He has been resident in India in at least 2 out of 10 years immediately preceding the previous year. It should be immediately preceding the previous year. And has stayed in India for at least 730 days in 7 immediately preceding the previous year. It goes out of the box. I will have to reduce the size. Give me 1 minute, okay? Yes. Okay. So he has been resident in India for 2 out of 10 years immediately preceding the previous year. And he has been staying in India for at least 730 days in 7 immediately preceding the previous year. ना अब इसका मतलब क्या है? अब ये दोनों कंडीशन अगर फुलफिल किया, मैं अब एक की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. देखो यहाँ पे जो वर्ड है ना, यहाँ पे ये देखो, ये वर्ड, इसको ना, ये एंड है, एंड और नहीं है, एंड है. एंड का मतलब क्या होता है? दोनों साथ में, बोथ टुगेदर. ईदर वन विल नॉट वर्क ऑन, बोथ टुगेदर विल वर्क. अगर दोनों कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करते हो आप, then a person will be called as resident and ordinarily resident. And if person does not satisfy maybe first, maybe second, or both of the condition, then he will be called as resident but not an ordinary resident. See, he is resident. In both the cases, he will be called as resident. If he does not satisfy these 2 conditions, or he satisfies these 2 conditions, in both the cases, he is resident. देखो नाम कैसा है, रेसिडेंट एंड ऑर्डिनरीली रेसिडेंट. रेसिडेंट तो है ना, और वो ऑर्डिनरी रेसिडेंट भी है. अच्छा, सेकंड केस, अगर दोनों कंडीशन या एक भी कंडीशन फुलफिल नहीं करता है, तो रेसिडेंट तो है, ही इज रेसिडेंट बट नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरीली रेसिडेंट. In both the cases, he will be called as a resident, because after coming to a conclusion that he is resident, we are further determining his further status of RNOR. Okay. So अभी मुझे ये explain करना है आपको कि 2 years out of 10 years immediately क्या लिखा हुआ है, and out of 7 years 730 days क्या लिखा हुआ है. For this I will have to open a Word document and I will explain you here. Are you able to see my Word document? It's a blank
Yes.
document. Yes. Suppose now your previous year is, let me increase the size. Okay. Your previous year is, yes, tell me, 2019 and 20.
20.
Now leaving this, I don't have to think about this previous. Immediately preceding the previous year means what? Immediately means बिल्कुल इसके पहले. Preceding माना पहले. Immediately preceding मतलब बिल्कुल इसके पहले. कितने साल? 10 साल. 10 years immediately preceding the previous year. 10 years immediately preceding. Preceding मतलब before, पहले, पिछले, जो गए, past के. फ्यूचर के नहीं, फॉलोइंग नहीं. एक होता है प्रीसीडिंग, पहले वाला, जो गया पास्ट में, और जो जो फॉलोइंग होता है ना, फॉलोइंग इज द नेक्स्ट वन इन द फ्यूचर. सो ही इज नॉट टेलिंग यू टू फॉलो, ही इज टेलिंग यू टू, ही इज आस्किंग यू टू गो प्रीसीडिंग, मतलब पहले. प्री मतलब पहले. तो इमीडिएटली प्रीसीडिंग द प्रीवियस ईयर, तो प्रीवियस ईयर को छोड़ के उसके 10 years पहले चले जाइए. 10 ईयर्स पहले जाएंगे तो आप मुझे बताएंगे 10 ईयर्स पहले जाएंगे तो कितना हो जाएगा? सब देखो लाइन वाइज लिखते हैं ना, 2018 एंड 19 बोलते जाइए तो मैं फास्ट फास्ट लिखती जाऊं। 2017
17,
वेरी गुड,
18
2000
2000,
2016
16 एंड
2018 and
17
17.
क्या है?
2015 and 16
अच्छा एक मिनट मैंने गलत लिख दिया, ये सॉरी, ये होगा आपका 18 and 17, फिर होगा 16 एंड 17 है ना, यही होगा ना? नहीं पहले मैंने सही लिखा ना, आप लोगों
17
ने
and
गलत
16
बोला।
होगा ना? हाँ मैम, हम लोग ने कहा था।
हाँ आप लोग गलत बोल रहे तो मैं भी कंफ्यूज हो गई। देखो कैसे लिखेंगे हम, 18 एंड 19, 17 एंड 18, 16 एंड 17 है ना, बोलेंगे तो उसको ऐसे ही ना सीक्वेंस में 15 एंड 16, ठीक है। 2014 एंड 13,
15.
अच्छा सॉरी 15, उसके बाद होता है आपका 2000
14 and 13
14 एंड 13 नहीं होता, 13 एंड 14 होते हैं। 2012 एंड 13, ओके
13
2011 एंड 12,
2011 and 12
2010 एंड 11।
10 and 11
हाँ कितने इयर्स हुए ये चेक तो करो, 1 2 3
हो
4
गए
5 6 7 8 9 हुए ना। ध्यान नहीं है, काउंटिंग नहीं आती है तुम लोग को, 1 2 3 नहीं आता है?
आता है।
आता है ना? हाँ तो अब देखो इसमें मुझे बताओ ये कितने इयर्स हो गए? क्या ये 10 इयर्स हो गए? क्या ये 10
यस
इयर्स हो
मैम,
गए?
यस मैम,
दीज आर 10
Yes.
इयर्स। किसको छोड़ के 10 इयर्स हो गए? प्रीवियस ईयर को छोड़ के, ध्यान में रखो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स है ना 2019 एंड 20 से लेकर 2010 एंड 11 तक बोलते हैं प्रीवियस ईयर हो गए 10 इयर्स के। नहीं, इमीडिएटली प्रीसीडिंग द प्रीवियस ईयर मतलब प्रीवियस ईयर को छोड़ के उसके तुरंत पहले, उसके बिल्कुल पहले 10 इयर्स कौन से हैं? तो 10 इयर्स होता है 10 से लेकर 18 तक। अगर मैं शॉर्ट में बोलूं तो बोलेंगे 10 से 18। तो मैं क्या यहाँ पे लिख सकती हूँ ब्रैकेट में आपके समझने के लिए, 2010 टू 18, ये मेरे 10 इयर्स है। कौन से 10 इयर्स है? कौन से 10 इयर्स है ये?
तो
इमीडिएटली
पिछले बैक
प्रीसीडिंग,
साइड, हाँ
यस इमीडिएटली प्रीसीडिंग द प्रीवियस ईयर, बैक में पास्ट वाले प्रीवियस ईयर। प्रीसीडिंग मतलब पास्ट में, प्रीवियस ईयर से पहले पहले जाना है, ठीक है। अच्छा इसी को ही देखो, अभी इसी को ही देखो, यहाँ पे 7 बोल रहे हैं, 7 इमीडिएटली प्रीसीडिंग द प्रीवियस ईयर। अब 7 इयर्स कितने होंगे? इसी के ही अंदर होगा ना 7, ये देखो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 7 इयर्स कब से कब तक है? 2012 से लेकर
13 to 18. हाँ 12 to 19.
12 टू 19। आई बात समझ में?
आपने फर्स्ट वाले में 10 to 18 लिखा है।
सॉरी 10 टू 19 आएगा ना, सॉरी एक मिनट था, 2000, हाँ 2010 नहीं 2009 लिखना पड़ेगा ना।
हाँ मैम, उधर पे भी 9 है.
ठीक है, रेक्टिफाई कर लिया, ठीक है, मिस्टेक को रेक्टिफाई कर लिया। 2009 टू 19 ये कितने इयर्स होते हैं? 10 इयर्स होते हैं ना, बराबर ही है,
10.
ठीक है 10 ही होते हैं ना बराबर, 9 से 19 तक 10 इयर्स होते हैं। और यहाँ पे 2000 क्या था? 2000 कितने इयर्स थे? 1 2
12.
3 4 5 6 7, 2012 से 19, 2012 टू 19 ये कितने इयर्स होते हैं? 7 होते हैं ना। आप फिंगर्स पे काउंट करोगे तो आपको समझेगा 2012 से 19 तक 7 इयर्स होते हैं, ठीक है, ओके। तो अब ही इज रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया। अब देखो अब मैं कंडीशन सिखाती हूँ। he has been a resident of India in at least 2 out of 10 years immediately preceding the previous year। अब मैं ये बता रही हूँ, यहाँ पे देखिए ये आपके 10 इयर्स है, ठीक है। अब वो क्या बोल रहा है? इन these 10 years at least 2 years, at any of 2 years, any of 2 years he should be resident। अब he should be resident मतलब R, समझो यहाँ पे his status is R। now यहाँ पे his status is NR, Now next his status is NR. He was non-resident. मैंने आपको पहले ही सिखाया था that residential status can be different for each of the years. Every year your residential status can be different. For 1 year you may be resident, for the next year you may be non-resident. Okay, so I'm giving example here. What is the point? For that I need to write few things here. Now suppose he is non-resident in this 2013 year. Okay, here suppose he is non-resident, and here suppose he is non-resident. Here also he is non-resident. Okay, तो अब आप मुझे ये देख के बताइए, ये जो मैंने लिखा है ना यहाँ से, तो इसमें 10 में से 2 years वो रेसिडेंट होना चाहिए. 10 में से 2 years वो रेसिडेंट है. मिनिमम 2 years. 2 years से ज्यादा चलेगा, पर मिनिमम 2 years ही शुड बी रेसिडेंट. कब नहीं चलेगा? Yes, it should not be less than 2 years. More than 2 years is okay. It should not be less than 2 years. What 2 years? What? He should be resident in 2 years. Ma'am, what do you mean by resident? वो बताया ना conditions. He should be at least 182 days in India in the previous year, or he should be satisfying 2A and 2B condition of being in India for at least 365 days in 4 immediately preceding years and 60 days in the previous year. So either one of the resident condition is satisfied. I mean that condition is satisfied, through which we came to know that yes, he is resident in 2 out of 10 years. 2 out of 10 years. So yes, he is resident here, he is resident here, 2, 3, 4, 4 years. For 4 years, he was resident in India. Out of 10 immediately preceding the previous year. Is he satisfying the first condition given here?
Yes, ma'am.
As per my example, is that person satisfying the first condition?
Yes.
Yes. Now let me come to the next example. Next condition, which says he stayed in India for at least 730 days in 7 years immediately preceding the previous year. Now, these are my 7 years. Okay, these are my 7 years. Now, he says in these 7 years, he should be in India, present in India. He is not saying he should be resident in India. No. First point says he should be resident in India. NOR. Sorry, NR. He's talking about that in first condition. But in second condition, he says he should be present in India. That's it. For how many days? 730 days. Ma'am, is it compulsory 730 days should be all together in 1 year? No. यहाँ पे अगर समझो एग्जाम्पल 2018 एंड 19 में वो 200 डेज है, ठीक है, फिर वो यहाँ पे सिर्फ 30 डेज है, तो उसके बाद वो नेक्स्ट उसके बाद वो यहाँ पे सपोज कितने डेज लिखा था मैंने? 30 डेज. उसके बाद
30.
वो यहाँ पे सपोज 60 डेज है, यहाँ पे सपोज वो सिर्फ 1 डे के लिए है. ये मैंने 60 लिखा था ना, ये क्या हो रहा है, ऐसे क्यों हो जा रहा है? सपोज यहाँ पे वो सिर्फ 1 डे के लिए, ओके, और यहाँ पे वो 0 डेज के लिए, 0 डे, और यहाँ पे वो 300 डेज के लिए, यहाँ पे वो सिर्फ 12 डेज के लिए. हो गया, 7 years हो गया ना. See, these are my 7 years. These are my number of days. Okay. Now you tell me, you have to sum up all these days. You have to get the total of all these days. 200 plus 3, 30 plus 60 plus 1 plus 0 plus 300 plus 12. How many days in all? How many days in all? Come on, get me a total of this. Come on, get me the total.
Ma'am, 603. I think.
Yes, 603. Okay. So is he satisfying the second condition of 730 days present in India?
No.
That means first condition is satisfied, second condition is not satisfied. But we want both, and means both. If he satisfies both, only then he will be known as resident and ordinary resident. Suppose, okay guys, there is 1 minute, less than 1 minute left. We will take 10 minutes break. Then we will join for another lecture. Okay. So
Okay, ma'am.
suppose if two conditions are satisfied, both of the conditions are satisfied, only then he will be called as resident and ordinary. In this case, with my example, he is satisfying first and does not satisfy second. He is resident but not an ordinary resident. I hope you understand. Okay. I hope you understand.